All right, so today we're going to do an example of a crack and resub. So what the goal of this is to get a higher grade on the individually graded cards. So right now we've got a very high subgrade card, 9.510, Ronald Acuna autograph from 2017 Bowman. Right now this is probably a $600 or $700 card, but if it can get regraded at 1010, we're probably talking about a $1,000 card. And so some good examples that you might want to consider for resubmitting would be cards that are all subgraded 9.5 or higher. I like this one because I think the centering is very good. So chance for a 10 subgrade on the centering, and I know that there's not going to be an issue with the corners, which are already graded at 10. So granted, anything can happen when you send it back in, but I think this is a great example of one you can send in and hope for a 1010. So I'm going to crack this thing open, and I'll show you that after it's out of the shell, and show you guys the result a little later. All right, so we got it cracked out of the clamshell, and next thing we'll do is, so this plastic coating, this is how they come back from Beckett, sealed inside there. So we'll very carefully cut it out, wipe down the card very softly with like a microfiber cloth that comes with your glasses, and then we'll get it sent off to Beckett, and we'll hope for the best. So just wanted to make sure that you guys know I'm not swapping out cards. So there is the graded label, and easiest way to tell once a card comes back is looking at the autograph very, very closely. Okay, we'll get this thing sent off, and I'll show you guys the result. All right, welcome to another episode of Crack and Resubmit. Today I am considering resubmitting this one here. These are both Connor McDavid Young Guns, graded 9.5, gem mint. And again, what I usually look for on a resubmit is a 10 grade on the corners, because I know that's the most easy thing to ding any of the grades. And I have one here for comparison because I wanted to compare the centering. On this one's a 9.5, this one's a 10. Looking at the cards very closely, it's really hard to notice any discernible difference. Your top to bottom, you have kind of a marker here beneath the Young Guns logo, which both of them look right about the same. Hard to notice any sort of difference here. On the left to right, you can really benefit by looking at the lettering on the board. So you see this one has just a little bit more of this letter sticking out, but nothing really different on either of these. So this one's a 10, this one's a 9.5. So the goal is hopefully that this one comes back a 10. And some people might say, well, geez, you have a really high-end card here with this one, and really high subgrades. Why would you dare cracking it open and resubmitting? And I just brought up the difference between the current selling prices on both of these. You see it's a very substantial difference. And then I pulled up some more examples of BGS 10s to kind of look at the centering. So again, here's a 10 graded, and you see this thing here. That's what I was looking at on the one I want to resubmit. Mine was graded 9.5. This one's a 10. So it shows that there is a little subjectivity there. And again, here's another one that's a 10. And again, you see the little notch there, very similar to the notch on this guy. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack open this one. This one I wouldn't dare. It's got a 9 on the corners. You can see, if I can get close enough, you can see some white on this corner here. Just not as super sharp as this one, where you've got some really nice corners. It's actually easier to see it on the back here. The card looks pretty much perfect, so the goal is to send it in to get a 10. So I will follow up this video with the results and we can see how BGS changes their mind or doesn't. Real quick before I crack this one open, I'm sure I'm going to get some questions that say, hey, well, why risk it? Why crack open the case and send it back in? And why not just do a review? And I have not had very good luck with that. This card actually was sent for review last year, and this is what came back. So, grader, senior grader, no markings whatsoever. Don't even know if they really looked at it. I did scribble out a few things, but yeah, those are my marks. But yeah, a little bit annoying that comes back with nothing noted on there. So we are gonna crack this thing open, send it back in a normal top loader, and see what happens. All right, so we've got this thing cracked open. There's your subgrades, and so now we've got it in this Beckett sleeve. We're gonna crack this thing out, put it right there, and you guys will get to see the results soon. Alright guys, as promised, we're back. We have grades in on both of the cards. They are both reslabbed. So I know the results, but excited to share them with you guys, so you guys can kind of see the results and the risk associated with cracking out some of these high-end cards that, just getting them reslabbed is important, because you never know if some cut could be off on a card and it comes back and the second time and they tell you it doesn't meet the sizing or something like that. So that's relief number one. And then, obviously the grades are important. You never want to see them go down in grade, and you're really hoping for them to go up. So two results. We have the McDavid and the Acuna. So I guess not sure which one you guys want to see first, but we'll start with Acuna. So remember, this one was a true 9.5 plus across the board, and the results are 9.510. So we did not bump, unfortunately. And we actually, let's see if I can get you guys to see the subgrades on this one here. So straight 9.5s. If you remember from the first half of the video, there was a 10 or maybe 2 10s in there. So we didn't really, maybe we lost a little value there by cracking it out and sending it back in, but lost the money of whatever that difference is, and having a 10 on there, it's probably insignificant, and then the grading fees. So, it's a risk you take. Oh well. So that's Acuna. And then on the McDavid, dun dun dun, there it is. Pristine 10. So we bumped it. Remember, I talked a lot in the first half of the video about the centering, and I showed plenty of examples of where almost this exact centering was a 10, and looks like they agreed with me. So we bumped the centering. I know the corners were a 10. I can't remember what the other ones were, and actually, I think I have. Here we go. Huh. So this is what we were at before. And boom. So I think, just getting that second opinion, I think, the graders, they default to 9.5. And then they try to find something either to make it look really sharp to give it a 10, or something that's going to bring it down to a 9 or lower grade. So 2 grades stayed the same, edges and corners, and 2 were bumped up, centering and surface. So the result is a 10. Difference in value, we're going from, I don't know what, 300-ish, 350 to a 10 right now. I don't know, last I checked, they're 1,000, 1,200. So, cracking out of 2 cards, you hit 1. The risk, I think, certainly worth the reward in this case. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or want some tips on how to go about any of this or just general submission questions, I'm going to be trying to post some other submission videos for you guys. So hope you enjoyed a little bit about that process and kind of how I think through it. And I'll catch you guys next time.